Hello guys, so welcome to your very own astrology channel, and in this particular video we are going to talk about the most dynamic sign of the zodiac. And yes, you are not wrong, we are going to talk about the Leo rising sign or the Leo ascendant in this particular episode. But before we proceed with the personality and the professions of the Leo ascendants, let me tell you that what the rising sign in astrology is. Well, the rising sign in astrology is the sign that was rising from the eastern side of the sky at the precise moment you were born. And these Leo ascendants are called so because Leo was the sign that must have been rising from the eastern side of the sky, that is from where the sun rises. And since Leo was the sign that was rising from the eastern side of the sky at the moment when these people were born, that is why the energy of the Leo sign comes into their first house of personality. And since Leo sign in astrology is represented by the symbol 5, so you can see the symbol 5 written into their first house. And as we proceed into the anti-clockwise direction, you can see the symbol 6 written into their second house. Then you can see the number 7 written into their third house. And similarly, as we proceed in the anti-clockwise direction, we end up with the 12th house having the symbol 4. And the way we go about analyzing this chart for the Leo ascendants is based on the fact that since the number 5 is present into the first house, so we consider that the energy of the original 5th house is present into the first house of the Leo ascendants. Similarly, the energy of the original 6th house comes into the second house for the Leo ascendants. Similarly, the energy of the original 7th house comes into the third house of the Leo ascendants. Similarly, the energy of the original 8th house comes into the 4th house for the Leo ascendants. And likely, as we proceed, we end up with the 12th house of the Leo ascendants having the original energy of the 4th house. This is the fundamental which will help us in analyzing any area of life of the Leo ascendants. So without wasting any time, let's go guys and realize and study what these Leo ascendants are all about. Well guys, like I told you earlier, for the Leo ascendants, the energy of the original 5th house comes into their first house of personality. So what is the 5th house, or so what is the original 5th house in astrology all about? Well, the 5th house in astrology is originally ruled by the planet Sun, which is also designated the stature of a king, the stature of a father in Vedic astrology. And what is Sun? Sun is a ball of heat. Sun is a hot ball of heat that is brimming with dazzling light, and Sun is a planet around which all the planets in the solar system revolve. Sun is the supreme one. He is the leader. He is the most kingly of all the planets that are there in Vedic astrology. Other than that, Sun represents a king. Sun represents a kingly figure who has or is blessed with the powerful, dynamic, magnetic, and the charismatic aura like that of a king. Sun in Vedic astrology governs our self-esteem, governs our self-ego, it governs our self-pride, it governs our self-confidence. So likely these people, these Leo ascendants, like that king or like that Sun, these people become the center of attention wherever they go. And since these people, like the sun, glow with that dazzling light, so people, wherever they go, people are automatically allured this light, and they are mesmerized and awestruck by the magnetic, powerful, dynamic, and the charismatic aura that these Leo ascendants possess. And these people like the king, these people do not tell to others or do not force others that, hey, I am somebody who possesses a kingly stature, I am ruled by the planet Sun, so you shall be respecting me, you shall be paying homage to me. No, absolutely not. In fact, these people, like the Sun, these people know, and also the people around them know that he is somebody who has the rarest and the finest blend of the 5 qualities, that is power, persona, wisdom, intelligence, and luck. People around them know that a common man might possess one out of these 5 qualities, or the common man can possess at max 2 or 3 out of these 5 qualities. But rare are the individuals who have all of these 5 qualities and those people who have all of these 5 qualities are said to be kingly in nature. like these Leo ascendants are. So like the people who live in the king's territory, like the people who live in the king's territory, the people around these Leo ascendants do not respect them out of force, or they do not respect these Leo ascendants out of some kind of a fear, or they do not respect these Leo ascendants just because he is some sort of an authoritative figure like the sun, or they do not respect him just because he has that political or the social rank to influence the decisions. They do not respect him solely because the ultimate decision making power is vested in the hands of the king. Rather, the people around the Leo ascendants respect them in the most purest form. They have the purest form of respect and reverence for these Leo ascendants, since they know that this person is not only powerful, this person is not only powerful and magnetic, or this person is not only the one who has the final veto power, but this person is also an epitome of intelligence and wisdom. So any decision that is taken by these Leo ascendants would be the best decisions that could be taken by any learned man. You can relate it in a way that the people in the king's territory respect that king not only because he is powerful, but they actually respect the king because they know that he is the most wise, he is the most intelligent of all the people who are present, in his kingdom, and therefore these people know that whatever decision this powerful figure called the king takes would be in the best interest of the people who are living within his territory. So these people have the dynamic and the magnetic aura of the king, and people have got the purest form of respect and reverence for these people. And guys, like I just told you, that these Leo ascendants like the king have the perfect blend of the 5 qualities, that is the power, persona, wisdom, intelligence and luck. Now some of you might be wondering that okay, it is fine enough for a king to be powerful, we kind of understand that, and the king has a charismatic aura, that too is a point that we can comply with. But why am I saying that the king is wise and intelligent? Well, you would find the answer to this question if you dig the ancient texts that were written some 500 to 1000 years back. And if you dig in those texts, if you scrutinize those ancient texts and find the life history of the kings that existed back then you would find strong evidences in those texts that anybody who was to take up the throne, anybody who was to become the king in those in that era, he was given the knowledge of all the 4 Vedas and the Shastras. He was given the knowledge of the Atharva Veda, the Yajur Veda, the Sama Veda and the Ayurveda and the other Shastras. And many of these Vedas and Shastras deal with the knowledge of science and medicine. Not only somebody who was to take up the throne or somebody who was to become a king was given the knowledge of Vedas and Shastras, but he was also given the knowledge of the spiritual, religious and the philosophical texts in order to inculcate in him the positive virtues of integrity, morality and honesty. And other than the 4 Vedas, the Shastras and the spiritual, religious and the philosophical texts, anybody who was to take up the throne or anybody who was to become a king was also given the knowledge related to the subjects like administration, law, warfare. So and even some of the kings were given the knowledge of occult, astrology and paranormal sciences. And yes, you might be finding it like this person has gone crazy. What has king to do with astrology, occult and the paranormal sciences? But I would, in this particular episode, through this Vedic chart, would actually tell you that why those kings were given the knowledge of occult and the paranormal sciences. So basically the king was born and brought up in a fashion that he has the knowledge, that he has the knowledge of everything. He was born and brought up in the fashion that he has all the tools in his arsenal that would help him in taking the right decisions when he takes up that throne. So if he was to take any decision related to the administration of the court, he would exercise his administrative acumen, and it would help him decide as to how shall the administrative proceedings of the court should run like. And then he was given the knowledge of warfare as to how he shall manage the army or the force in his territory in order to save the people living in his territory from the attacks of the outside enemy or the foreign forces. Then he was given the knowledge of law. The religious spiritual texts and the Vedas and the Shastras, because it is expected for somebody who is a king and somebody who is at the top-notch position in the hierarchy, somebody who is at the throne. It was expected of this person that person should not take any decision under the influence of anger, under the influence of lust, or under the influence of any bad habits. That is why he was given the knowledge of all these Shastras, occult, spirituality and Vedas, so that he takes the decisions that are in compliance with law, that are in compliance with the teachings of religion, spirituality and philosophy, that are in compliance with the righteous manner, that are unbiased and that are justful in nature. It was expected out of that king to take the decision in the most unbiased and in the most justful manner. So these Leo ascendants, like that king, these people know, like the king knows that he belongs to the clan, he belongs to the dynasty, that ultimately few years down the line he is going to take up the throne. Similarly, these Leo ascendants, like that king, know that they are born to rule, and these Leo ascendants know that they can easily win over others, they can easily surpass others without putting too much of an effort. Now, it could be the fact that these Leo ascendants have the powerful, dynamic, magnetic or the charismatic aura of the king. It could be the fact that these people have the finest and the rarest blend of qualities like the power, persona, wisdom, intelligence, luck. It could be the fact that these people have a huge build. It could be the fact that these people possess some sort of a skill set, or it could be the fact that these people are an epitome of grace and beauty. It could be anything, but one thing is for very sure, that these Leo ascendants possess something that sets them aside from the normal individuals, that makes them kingly in stature. And this Leo ascendant is represented by the lion in the jungle. This Leo ascendant is represented by the animal lion. And if you actually finically study the lifestyle of the lion in the jungle, then you would find quite a similarity between how these Leo ascendants behave and how the lion in the jungle behaves. Now, when the lion's cub are actually growing up, they actually know deep within that they belong to a clan, they belong to a dynasty, that few years down the line, they are going to be the king of the jungle when he matures into an adult lion. He knows that he has sharp claws and teeth that can rip apart the body of one of the most gigantic animals in the jungle. He knows that he has that huge build. He knows that he has that powerful roar. He has that powerful growl that can instill fear in any animal present in that jungle. Similarly, these Leo ascendants, these people know that there is something about them. There is something about them that the people are awestruck by, that the people are mesmerized by. These people deep within themselves know that they are kingly in stature. And now, guys, coming on to the professions which these Leo ascendants can go into. Well, these people, like I told you, since these people are kingly in nature, since they know from birth that they have something that sets them aside from the normal individuals, so these people are inclined towards profession wherein their single decision can change, wherein their single decision can affect the life of hundreds and thousands of individuals who are working under them. They are seen at the posts or at the positions which are at the top-notch position, which are at the top-notch position in the hierarchy. These people like the king in the territory, since the king's decision can affect the life of hundreds and thousands of individuals living in his territory. Similarly, these people are inclined towards profession wherein their decision at the topmost level can affect the life of hundreds and thousands of individuals who are working under them. So these individuals are inclined towards politics. These individuals are inclined towards politics. These individuals can become the prime ministers and the presidents of countries. They can hold any ministerial or the administrative rank of a higher level, because these are the posts. The politicians, the prime ministers, the presidents of countries, the home ministers, the finance ministers, their single decision can affect the life of not only the people living in their country, but it may have their effect on a world level, on an international level, as these are the people who decide about the foreign policies of the nation, about the economic policies of the nation, about the social policies of the nations. So other than politics, presidents and prime ministers of countries and the administrative and the ministerial jobs of the higher level, these people can become the CEOs, the CMOs, the CFOs, the CXOs of the big shot companies, or they can be the business tycoons or the entrepreneurs or the big shot entrepreneurs who are regularly in news for one reason or the other. Now these are the posts, the CMOs, the CXOs, the CFOs, the CEOs of the big shot companies. Their single decision can affect the life of the hundreds and thousands of staff members that are working under them. Then these people can also in fact they do too good in the entertainment industry. They could be the actors and the actresses. Now you might be wondering that fine enough, these are the people, the politicians, the ministerial jobs or the administrative jobs of the higher level, and the CXOs, the CEOs and the CMOs of companies, and the entrepreneurs and the big shot entrepreneurs. Their decision have a bearing on the life of hundreds and thousands of individuals that are working under them. But what has actor or an actress to do with influencing our lifestyle? But indeed they do, because we are so mesmerized and we are so awestruck by these figures in the entertainment industry that we want to have the similar name, fame and reputation as they have earned. We want to harbor in the similar stardom, fanfare and glory as they harbor in. We want to mimic them. We share a emotional connect with them. So if a actress or actress endorses a particular brand, we would at least for a moment would not think about what product utility are we getting from that brand. For that particular moment, we would only think of the actress or the actress that is endorsing that brand, because wearing that particular brand that is endorsed by our favorite actor, or wearing the same clothing that is endorsed by our favorite actor helps us connect with that actor emotionally, and the people around us know that. That is why the NGOs, the political parties, the social institutions, that is why they rope in the celebrities during the electoral campaigns, or these actors and actresses are regularly roped in by the NGOs and the social institutes in order to patronage the causes that can be of the social, religious or the economic importance. So if we get like an example, let's suppose if we get to know that Angelina Jolie is patronizing the causes that are centered around the women upliftment and empowerment, and she's going around the world. She's adopting the orphanages from the third world countries, and is giving millions of rupees in the name of charity. Then of course we cannot give that million of rupees as she does, but we would try to give in whatever little we can to the downtrodden and the needy people around us. So they, in a way, these actors and actresses, these are the figures who are kingly in stature. Their lifestyle is so grand that we want to mimic those figures. So to sum up, these figures can go into politics. These Leo ascendants can go on to become the presidents and the prime ministers of countries. They can hold the ministerial or the administrative jobs of the higher ranks. They can become the CEOs, CFOs, CMOs, CXOs of the big shot companies. They can be the big shot entrepreneurs or the business tycoons. They can be associated with the entertainment industry as an actor or an actress. Even musicians can be seen. Even these people are inclined towards becoming the musicians. Now, if we look at in the sphere of Bollywood, in Bollywood, music is an integral part of the film. So whenever these actors and actresses go on a promotional event, they take the singers or the music composers along with them. And when those singers and the music composer says that this particular film or a movie has a very fresh songs, has very melodious songs, has a particular genre of songs that has not been heard before, then somewhere they are kind of influencing our decision to go and watch that film. And similarly in Hollywood, the people like Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, Selena Gomez, isn't their status similar to Tom Cruise or any big shot actor or actresses that we have in Hollywood? These people, these musicians like Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, their status or stardom, their fanfare is nowhere less to any Hollywood actor or any Hollywood actress. So these are the figures these are the figures that we can see that these Leo ascendants might want to become as. And guys, now that we have talked about the professions that these Leo ascendants can go into, some of you might be wondering that although this guy has said that these Leo ascendants can go on to become the political leaders, can go on to become the presidents and the prime ministers of countries, can go on to become the ministerial or the administrative, can go on to take up the ministerial and the administrative ranks at the higher level. But you might be wondering that I am only associated with a political party which is not even operating on a national level, rather it is operating on a regional level, and I have only 4 or 5 people working under me and not the hundreds and thousands of people as this guy just said. Well, here's one thing. Now, if you understand this concept on a very intellectual level, then you would be able to reason out why this is happening. Because although the prime minister and the president both these posts are represented by these Leo ascendants, but there is a great degree of difference between somebody who is a prime minister of a country and somebody as compared to somebody who is a president of a country. Then there is a great amount of difference between the powers that are vested in the hands of a president of a country as compared to the power that is vested in the hands of say a finance or a home minister of a country. Similarly, there is a huge degree of difference between somebody who is a home minister or finance minister of a company, a finance minister of a country, as compared to somebody who is the minister of cultural affairs or who is the education minister. Similarly, there is a great degree of difference between somebody who is the leader of a political party operating at a national level as compared to somebody who is the member of a political party working at a regional level. then there is a great amount of difference between somebody who is the member of a political party working at the regional level as compared to somebody who is the sarpanch of the gram panchayat, or who is somebody leading a group, who is leading a small group of 4 to 5 people. Or the similar scenario can be seen in the posts like CEOs, CMOs, CFOs, CXOs. You might be wondering that I am only an associate manager and I have only a group of 50 people working under me and not 100 and 1000 as this guy is saying. Similarly, you could be associated with the entertainment industry, but you may be a struggling actor instead of an actor that the people are mesmerized or awestruck by. You could be a struggling actor, or you could on a more lower level, you could be a light boy, you could be a stuntsman, you could be an averagely doing musician, or you could be a makeup artist associated with the film industry. Well, there is a huge amount of difference in these posts. While all are represented by the Leo ascendants, but there is a great amount of difference between them. And whether you land up in a post which is at a top-notch position in the hierarchy, or you land up at a post which is somewhere in the middle, or you land up at a post which is lower down the hierarchy, that all represents on how powerful is the Lord of the first house. That is how powerful the planet Sun is placed in your horoscope, and how powerful is the 5th house in your horoscope. These both are the things that shall be taken into consideration in order to decide that at what level of hierarchy would you be seen. Would you be leading a group of 100 people? Would you be leading a group of 1000 people? Or would you be leading a group of only 4 people? Or would you be an actor who would be famous on an international level? Or you would be an actor who is famous only in his own country? Or you would be an actor who is a struggling actor? That all depends on where the Sun is placed in your horoscope, how strong the Sun is placed in your horoscope, and how powerful is the 5th house. Since the entertainment professions are seen, entertainment professions, politics, and the CEOs, CFOs, CXOs, CMOs of companies, all these professions are seen from the 5th house of the horoscope. So you got to cumulatively take both of the things into consideration. That is the power of Sun and the 5th house, in order to decipher out that whether you will be leading a group of huge people, or you would be a leader who is just patronizing a cause and is the leader of just say a 4-5 people. And guys, moving on to the 2nd house for these Leo ascendants. For these Leo ascendants, their 2nd house has the original energy of the 6th house. Their 2nd house has the energy of the original 6th house. And what is the 6th house originally all about? Well, the 6th house originally is all about using your mathematical, statistical, and the computational analysis. The 6th house originally is all about using your mathematical and your business acumen to take the best of the decisions. The 6th house is all about the original 6th house is all about nitpicking things, finding out the faults, and thereby improving upon those faults till you take the things to perfection. And this energy and this Mercurian energy of rationality is present into the 2nd house, which is also the house of rational decision making, as 2nd house governs the right side of the brain that has to do with the rational decision making. So herein you get the proof that with the two stabilized energies, with the two rational energies present in the same house, the kings or the Leo ascendants make one of the most rational decision makers in the zodiac. The Leo ascendants are one of the most rational decisions maker in the zodiac, and this is the reason that why the people living in the king's territory know that any decision that will be taken by the king would be in the best interest of the people living in his territory, since he is the most learned and since he is the most wise. So herein you find the authentication of the point that we were earlier discussing. Secondly, with this energy of the 6th house present into the 2nd house of ancestors, these Leo ascendants, their major energies, the major energy of the king goes into taking care of the fact that that he takes care of his clan, his dynasty, his ancestral culture and traditions are being followed. And now you might be wondering that since the king is ruled by a sun, which is a hot ball of heat brimming with dazzling light, and he has a charismatic, magnetic, powerful, and a dynamic personality. So you would not expect a king to be emotional. But here's one thing. Such a dynamic figure is emotional, but this dynamic figure keeps his emotions a secret, from others, and that is why you see the 12th house of secrets having the original energy of the 4th house, which represents the house, and even the 4th house for these Leo ascendants have the energy of another secretive house, that is the 8th house. So these Leo ascendants, drain most of their energies. 12th house is all about the things where we lose something, in terms of money, where we lose something in terms of energy, in terms of putting an effort into things. So the major concern for the king is to take care of the kingdom, and he is secretly very emotional. He is secretly very possessive. Like this, with the Scorpion energy present into their 4th house, these kings are very emotional about the people of their homeland, about his family, about the people living in his territory. It's just that he is a sort of a figure that he doesn't display emotions openly, as you would not want somebody of a stature of a king who is there at the top-notch position of the hierarchy to display his emotional vulnerability. But down within, this king is very emotional and possessive about his family. 8th house is the energy wherein you cannot bear to be separated from the people you love, not even for a second. So similar is the kind of love, similar is the kind of association the king feels with his family members, with the people of his homeland, with the people who are living in his territory, like the king does. And here is one more thing. Since the second house also governs our the way we speak, our speaking, the way we speak, our speaking habits. So with this analytical energy of Virgo, or with this analytical energy of the 6th house comes into the 2nd house, these kings, these Leo ascendants, or this kingly figure, they don't speak unnecessarily. They would not blab, or they would not bitch, or they would not go about speaking like an idiot. In fact, these people are of the mindset that a single word uttered worth gold is better than uttering 100 words which are worth shit. So these people are dynamic. They only speak as and when needed, and they know very well that once they start speaking, people will be automatically in sheer awe and amazement, and they would value each word that comes out of the mouth of the king. So these people do speak, but they do not talk unnecessarily. Like the lion in the jungle. Even the lion in the jungle, he is a very calm and composed figure. Yes, he does hunt animals, but if you cynically look at the lifestyle of a lion, he doesn't display his emotions openly. He would not take action, or he would not become ferocious until and unless he is provoked. Now coming on to the 3rd house, the third house of the Leo ascendants have the original energy of the 7th house. And what is the 7th house energy all about? Well, the 7th house energy is the energy of partnerships, is the energy which gives us the sense of fulfillment and completeness. So 7th house is the house that is exactly opposite the 1st house. So 7th house represents our partners, we and the partners. So when these two energies combine, we kind of feel the sense of completeness and the sense of fullness. And that is why I always say that wherever that wherever the symbol 5 or wherever the symbol 5 or wherever the symbol 7 is present, these houses shall always be taken into consideration in order to decipher out that which particular career would a particular ascendant land into. Similarly, with this energy of the 7th house coming into the 3rd house, these people, these Leo ascendants are also these Leo ascendants also gain the tranquility of mind. They get a sense of completeness and fulfillment by engaging themselves in the professions that are related to the 3rd house. And what is the 3rd house all about? Well, the 3rd house is all about taking actions, holding the responsibility of your own actions. 3rd house is where you no longer have the support of the people around you. 3rd house is where you no longer have the emotional nourishment, the emotional pampering, or the financial support of the family members or the people of your homeland. 3rd house, wherein you are a single identity fighting your own battle, taking your own decisions and being the sole people and being the sole person responsible for the outcome of your own actions. That is why these people, that is why it is said that the single decision of the king would actually decide the fate of the hundreds of people that are living in his territory or that are working under him. So these people gain the sense of fulfillment by indulging into the 7th house professions, by indulging into the 3rd house professions like entrepreneurships, like writing, sports people. Then these people are also inclined towards the 3rd house fields. The 3rd house is also the house of the tech savvy people. So these people can also, these Leo ascendants can also become good computer engineers, good software and the application developers, anyone who is involved in the coding and decoding of languages. Then 3rd house professions also deal with the entertainment or the media industry. So any jobs related to acting or modeling, mimicry artists, acting, modeling, mimicry artists, ventriloquism. Then any jobs wherein you are working with the camera or wherein you are facing camera. So film directors, cameramen, sports commentators, because 3rd house is the house of communications. People involved in sales and marketing, then people who are involved in media, who are involved in mass media and communications, who are involved in journalism, who are the TV show hosts, news anchors, stage performers, and the people who play the musical instruments. All these professions are also seen. All these professions that are innate to the Gemini ascendant are also seen that the Leo ascendants go into. But the only difference between the Gemini ascendant and the Leo ascendant is that both of these ascendants love being in front of the camera, and they love to be the center of attention. However, there is one difference, and that is that the 10th house of the Leo ascendants has the original energy of the 2nd house, and 2nd house is the stable house in Vedic astrology. So these people, unlike a Gemini who would try to indulge himself into the 10 different professions at the same time, these Leo ascendants, their thinking is not that wavered. In fact, these people pursue a task and they move with the task until they take the task to completion. So this is the prime difference between the Leo ascendants and the Gemini ascendants. Then there is one thing that not only these people do good in politics, good in the entertainment industry, or do good when they are the CEOs, CXOs, CMOs, CEOs of companies, but in fact all these professions are seen by the 5th house. And look, not only these people love being in these professions, but the energy of the 9th house is present into the 5th house. So these people not only love going into those professions like politics, CEOs, CMOs, CXOs of companies, and the fields related to entertainment, but they in fact are very fortunate if they land up in those fields. They they kind of easily make a name, fame and reputation for themselves while they indulge themselves into those, while they go into those professions. So these people do reasonably very good at being politicians, at being the ministerial jobs, at being the higher top-notch positions in the hierarchy of the organizations, as being the people associated with the entertainment field. And not only that, from the fifth house we see people who are involved in the speculative business, who are involved in the share, who are involved in any speculative business wherein it could be you are putting your money on the stock market, you are putting your money on horses, that is, you are indulging into gambling. All these professions are also seen from the fifth house, and the original energy of the fifth house is coming into the first house of personality, and the fifth house of these Leo ascendants have the energy of the ninth house, which makes them lucky in the fifth house professions. So these people, that is why I said that the king is blessed with the five qualities. Out of them, that is power, persona, wisdom, intelligence and luck. Luck is that prime thing that the Leo ascendants are blessed with. So while you might be one individual who might put your money on one of the most sturdy and one of the most athletic horses in the race, you may end up losing your money every time you put your money on the horse race or in the stock market. But this Leo ascendant would just come, he would put his money on one of the most fragile, on one of the most vulnerable, on one of the most sickly breeds of horses, yet when he puts his money on that particular horse would run by the speed of light, to the amazement of others, contrary to what is expected out of that sickly horse breed. And this person would run up, and this person would end up winning that gamble when he puts his money on one of the most fragile horses, or he would get loads of money while putting his money into the stock market. Even if he puts his money on a particular share, that is expected to not do that well on the stock market. But the moment this guy puts his money on that particular share that is expected not to do that well, he would end up making millions out of it. And that is why luck is said to be a prime attribute that is associated with this Leo ascendant. And then fifth house is the house of education, and the ninth house, the original energy of the ninth house is present in the fifth house. And what is the ninth house originally all about? Well, the ninth house originally is all about spirituality, religion, any higher kind of a philosophy or a belief system, and the studies at the higher universities. All these forms of education are seen from the original ninth house, and this ninth house energy is present in the fifth house of the fifth house of the king, fifth house of education. So that is why I am here proving that this is the reason that the kings were given the education of spiritual, religious and the philosophical texts, and they were also given the knowledge of law and administration, because even the knowledge of administration is seen from the fifth house and the ninth house, and both these energies are present into the fifth house of these Leo ascendant. So guys, can you actually relate that how everything in astrology is related? Everything in astrology has an authenticate meaning, provided you know the real nuances of astrology. Anything in astrology is not some kind of a mumbo jumbo. Everything has a proper astrological reasoning behind it. And I told you that the kings are also secretly follow the occult and the paranormal sciences. However, these Leo ascendants, there are high chances that this Leo ascendant, as being a powerful, as being a dynamic figure like the sun, who is all about grace, persona, who is all about proving that he has something that sets him aside from the normal individual. That is the reason that this guy doesn't openly admit that he believes in something like an occult or the paranormal sciences. But you can see that their 8th house has the original energy of the 12th house. And what is the 8th house all about? The 8th house is all about the things that are hidden underground. Eighth house is all about the subjects like astrology, occult, paranormal sciences, and eighth house is the house of secrets. And the 12th house, the energy of the 12th house is present into the 8th house, and the 12th house is the another house which deals with secrets. 12th house deals with the beings of the other dimension, with the UFOs, with the aliens, talking to the free spirits, angel reading, and the things like that. So can you actually get that why that although the king secretly follows the occult sciences and the things like that, however he never admits it. So guys, this was it from my side about the Leo ascendant personality and professions, and we would be back with another important episode about the Leo ascendants, in which I will be discussing the rest of the things, that is the romance life of the king, then the diseases that the king or these Leo ascendants are most vulnerable to. Then we would discuss the marriage life of the king, the shared assets of the king, the religion, philosophy, and the belief system of the king, and things like that. We would discuss that in the upcoming episode, so stay tuned. And if you like me for one reason or the other, if you like my methodology of teaching, please do subscribe to my channel. Please do press the red button that you see down below your screen. That will keep you regularly updated with the feeds, and you will be regularly kept informed whenever I upload a video next. So guys, on that note, this is your host Sri Sugar signing off. Take care. Goodbye.